Morning, Greg.
Morning, David.
How's it going?
It's going just ducky.
You want a duck?
Quack quack. I do. I do.
Mm.
It's right here.
I like how
How big is it, David?
um, I don't know. It's real big. Duck. Big. I forgot that they treat tech and stuff.
Yeah, they ship the ducks.
Forgot about that. It's
That's
been a
that's one of
while.
my favorite videos I did with Nick and Ronan.
The,
when
the,
I
the,
when I put the little tiny duck on the build plate,
mm,
and I'm like, let's put the duck on and see how big it is. I have this big duck, and I put it on, and I put the little duck. You're
yeah.
like, it's huge.
It's so giant. Likewise. Um. Good morning, Raymond and Dominic.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Dominic.
Chatters.
So,
They don't cut hair
um,
though. Not that kind of chatter.
what did you print anything this weekend?
This weekend?
Yeah.
Uh, Kinda. Yeah. Uh-huh. I was print. I printed some wall mount headphone hangers, and I also printed uh, shelf brackets so I could hang a little tiny shelf.
Hmm. Yeah, I printed a couple more of those little ammo things for the cadets because it's their today is their range tournament. So they needed a couple more. So,
But they're gonna miss all the Olympics.
but they're having their own Olympics.
Honestly forgot that it was that season.
Yeah. I haven't I haven't are there 3D printing Olympic stuff that people print for like would novelty stuff? I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't
I
know.
I
I
haven't seen anything.
I don't
I
know if
haven't I
there's
haven't looked.
like maybe somebody printed their rings or something. I don't know. Me uh, mm, me no printing, just putting filament away for. Yeah, Raymond has
Uh,
quite a predicament.
like he has like a whole sea can full of filament he has to put away.
Yeah, it arrived
Uh-oh.
shortly after we picked up the printers.
Oh, that's sorry to hear that, Ray.
Listen, it keeps him busy, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. That's true. I didn't find any huge stories to talk about. I found one that was interesting, but I didn't know if we wanted to talk about it. Um, it was um, a 3D printing a house 3D printing company. They had bought a 3D printer to print houses from this other company, but the company that sold him the 3D printer had all these criteria that you must have
Mhm.
once you buy it. Like you have to keep it manned and watched 24/7. You have to like there was very onerous like when you go through these rules. So I was kind of I didn't know if that's something we'd want to talk about or not, but it was like if you sell someone something, is there an obligation to that they have to follow 100% of all the requirements to protect your product?
I don't know, like in regards to like warranty and stuff.
Well, I don't know if it's warranty or they just were worried about someone stealing their tech after they've already sold it to someone. It was very odd. I don't know. I thought that was
Yeah, weird.
but, like, I mean, if Bamboo sells me a printer, I should be able to take it apart and show everyone everything inside it or whatever because I now own it. I don't have an NDA on that or anything like that. It's a product I purchased.
It's interesting you'd say that because if you read your terms of service for a bamboo lab printer, uh, not what you, not what you think. But like there are products, yeah, that are licensed that way, right? Like you're just not allowed to. um,
I don't know. It seemed
You
like
you
when
can
they're going through,
own it, but you can't know the special sauce.
yeah, there's a huge lawsuit involving this company because they if they move it from site to site, they have to tell the manufacturer that it's going from site A to site B
Mm.
and everything. Like it's like I don't know.
And
I don't
like
know.
Ray says, it happens all the time. And I agree. It probably
Yeah.
does. But like when you're using a piece of equipment that's not yours, I think the onus on you is on you, obviously, to make sure you're using it with within the parameters of your agreement
Mhm.
of how you purchased it. Because it would have been really clear, like, listen, you can't,
Yeah, right.
you
I know.
know.
I thought it was kinda interesting, but, there I did other than that, I didn't really see anything, jumping out. Um, I don't know if I guess we could talk about the Discord stuff, so that everyone knows. Um, so a while ago, Patreon opened up, um, a free section, so you could subscribe to someone's Patreon feed for free, and then they have the paid tiers that have additional benefits. The free just kind of it's like following, it's like subscribing to YouTube channel, whatnot. You get the basic stuff, and then you get bonus stuff, right? If you get the paid tier. So what we've done is I've made a post in the that the free and Patreons can see that has a link to join Discord if you're on the free tier. And then you just have to answer a question of who the hosts are, or one of the two hosts. You just have to put their name, and then we can authorize you to be on the general channel, not the Patreon channel, the general channel in Discord. So if anyone is interested, you can join up on Patreon, and then if you want the full meal deal with all the special stuff and chats and more private stuff and whatnot, that will be in our Patreon Discord. Anyway, just thought we'd update
Yeah.
you on that stuff.
Um, so join Discord, I guess, is the messaging.
Yeah, and then we can chat and whatnot over. Like, I mean, it's nice to have people right in the chat. We got Raymond and Dominic, and a lot of times Gary is here and whatnot, and so we can kind of continue the conversation offline as well. So yeah.
Just saying, yeah, yeah. Like that, like it should open up stuff a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's good. Um, so a topic that's near and dear in my heart and recently anyway, and on the brain, is um the mistakes people make when they're learning how to 3D print. Right. And
Yep.
there's a lot of them, and the conversation around this used to be a little different in the way back before days. Which is fine. I like it's that is what it is. But we've moved to I don't know. I don't know if you call it a better place or let's call it a less complex place. So
Yeah. Less complex.
if you check out the original videos on our channel, they go back to a point where there is like we talked about, like setting up a slicer completely,
Mhm.
profiling it. We talk about the firmware,
Yeah, compiling.
right? Compiling it. Oh,
Hey,
how okay.
Gary.
Welcome, welcome. Um, but like one thing that um I think everybody did very poorly was talking about transitioning from like that old guard to something that like the bamboo or a K2 series or Kitty Tech, Elegoo's Centurion, I think it
Any
is.
of the modern
Yeah,
printers.
right. So like we moved to a place now where we have those modernish printers that are all rectangly, Core XY. You know the printers, you probably own one. Um, but when that happened, a bunch of people that didn't go through the
Learning
learning
phases.
phase have started printing, or they went through and they just figure, like, oh well, it's so much modern now. I don't need to think about anything. I'm just
Yeah,
going to
I don't have
print.
to understand, I just have to do.
Yeah, and like as most of us in like so the a lot of us in the channel are veteran 3D printers or senior 3D printers. Like we've done it for a while, and
Yep.
we've cut our teeth. But like, uh, I'd like to talk about like again some of the stuff people don't think about, and one of the things is you can't forget or ignore the basic steps of 3D printing.
Mhm.
So, um, when when you think about um when you think about, for example, my if somebody were to tell you, hey, my um 3D print isn't sticking to the bed, and you're running a bamboo lab K2 Centurion Cutie, people are like, it's not sticking, the printer's just broken. No,
No.
no, wrong.
There could be a number of different things.
Yeah, right. So like, and that's where we have the advantage of, well, we went through this and we know what's going, kind of what's going on, because bed not sticky. That's the technical term, bed not sticky. Uh, it
It
means
could be
like three big things and then a myriad of small things.
yeah.
But
So
usually, it's like your nozzle height. Check that,
yep,
and even on a new printer, you can check that.
yep,
So don't ignore that, especially if you just changed, like you
a
use the
nozzle.
hot swap nozzle stuff that it all seems to have, and then you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
wonky.
Well, I yeah, you definitely have to go through on a modern printer a recalibration, shall we say,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Um,
and that like Dominic just said it too, almost at the same time you said it.
yeah,
Yeah, like there is a calibration function that if your printer goes wonky, you push the button,
yep,
right? Because then it does all of it. It does like acceleration, vibration, right? Bed leveling, and it does it all again. And then usually, even that fixes like the bed no sticky problem.
well, and on that topic, we had someone with this problem, and their solution, one of the things they mentioned was glue stick. I'm like, um, this isn't like early 2010. You don't need to use glue stick unless you're using, an adhesion assistance product should be used on special filament. Typically, I would say ABS, maybe some of the nylon stuff so that you don't damage your print service, that sort of thing. But standard PLA, mm, I think you should maybe use some detergent, lots of water, and then isopropyl alcohol to clean your bed.
Ones the detergent and the soap can be dubious depending
Mhm.
on the soap or detergent you grab
Right,
because
and
like
lots of water to clean it after to
yeah,
get the film off.
even then, like if you have actually funny enough, if you wear like compression socks, they sell sort of special soap to clean the compression socks, and then that's good stuff. It doesn't leave residue. Um, but like usually I just take a wipe, like an alcohol swab that I'd use to like before I stick myself with a needle for the insulin thing, and then just wipe the bed down, and that's enough.
Mhm.
There is
Well, and
products though, and the reasons to
warm
use.
water too.
Yeah, warm water would work, but there is reasons to use glue sticks. Um,
Absolutely.
except just bed not sticky, especially with PLA, is not one of them. Um, and I'm not gonna be that guy who's like, "Oh, you're using hairspray, man." I don't care
Yeah,
if that
yeah.
makes you happy and it works. But like again, the calibration button exists, so um, that's an important thing. And Raymer makes so um, bed no sticky. Point number two: the apps are making it stupid. So you go to a
Yeah.
website and you click on like so if you have a Bamboo Lab or like, it's Maker World, Creality has their Creality Cloud. And then you go in there, you flip through some stuff, you find a thing, you're like, this is the thing I want, and you hit print. And then what happens is if there is no code, both apps let you slice for yourself, which is great. That's a good thing. But if there is code, it's just like here, we use this code. And
Yeah, yeah, you don't that's a big thing is, like, you don't wanna reuse someone else's G code. We've talked about the dangers of that on this channel before. Like, if someone really wanted to be malicious, they could send, your print head and do something malicious to it through the G code. So you always want to slice your own models for sure. Um, but we've gone from where PLA was just PLA with a variety of different questionable brands of PLA to now some very good brands of PLA, but now we've got Hyper PLA, PLA Plus, high speed PLA, like
mhm,
whatever your acronym is, and that we probably should kind of mention because people think it's like when they're the noobs that have never printed on and don't have the experience of printing going through and doing print towers on a different brand because
yeah,
you're not quite sure
yeah.
how this brand is going to print, like people don't often do the print calibrations or whatever for their filament anymore. It's just stick it in and go. And so what
Well,
kind of stuff can happen, David, when you
all
do
of
that?
it. Nozzle clogging comes to mind. Like fake heat creeping is another thing. And the truth of the matter is, like, for all the different kinds of PLA and slicers, if you just pick PLA, like 90% of the time that's gonna work for you.
Mhm.
Like,
Because when you got one of these specialty ones and your slicer has a profile in or your printer has a profile for one of these specialty ones, it's going to treat the filament differently in the way it heats and the way it cools as it's
mm,
coming out, correct? So
mhm,
that's going to really mess thing up if you trying to print, let's say, PLA and you choose ABS, it's gonna
yeah.
treat it quite a bit differently.
Well, and the one we see a lot right now are more of, and Mary and I were talking about it the other day as well. Um, Hyper PLA is
Mhm.
different beast, and people like and one thank goodness slicers put what profiles you're using at the bottom of the file. So you can see exactly what the settings were. But two, hyper PLA is the default for some reason in the slicer.
because they want you to do it, use
And
it.
in Crowdy Slicer especially, Bamboo Lab, I don't know. It used to be just PLA, but there was a great point that was made, and that was go into your slicer, into your filament settings, and just get rid of Hyper PLA. Untick that box. You don't need it.
Mm.
It just causes problems. Get rid of it.
I mean, unless you're specifically buying hyper PLA.
I've seen it where Hyper PLA still clogs with Hyper PLA
Really?
settings.
So it's really it's their temperature profile that they have built into that filament is really wonky then.
Yeah, and the idea for Hyper PLA is the melting temperature is slightly lower than a
Mm.
regular PLA, so that's why they're like it can print faster because it can melt faster. So but they still throw that higher temperature. I got quality site over. Let me see what the temperature says. Filament. So the recommended nozzle temperatures are ranged between 190 and 240. So if you get up to that 240, you're gonna have some problems.
Right? Because that's ABS type
Mhm.
temperatures there.
It totally is. And so then, like with those complaints, usually what happens is you'll hear things like, "Oh, my printer's still printing, but there's no filament coming out."
Mhm.
Which eventually, the printer will catch. It has different mechanisms to catch it. You're like, AI cameras are in there, so like those will catch it eventually, right? Be like, oh, there's no extrusion, but everything's still moving. Or like the sensors catch it, right? Bamboo Lab has a sensor at the extruder on the hot end. So
Mhm.
does the K series. And what'll happen is it'll retract, but it doesn't actually break that sensor when it retracts anymore. Or it can't put new filament in, and then it's like, hey,
Well,
something's
I
terrible.
I could totally see that if it's too hot, right? And you do a retraction, you're gonna it's gonna pull the cold part is gonna pull back and do a long stringy
Yeah,
in their cold zone, and then it it's not going to um you know you know push it back correctly, and then I could totally see that causing a lot of jamming for people and weirdness because the flow is going to be all wrong.
just like a Bob Marley jamming. Doop, doop. I had to. The what we got here? Screen
We got
share.
hyper PLA.
So like I have defaults. You can see that like it's hyper PLA here, and then PLA hyper, and then silk. Um, so you can see like the different profiles. Um, if you do this button, the first one in line up there, will auto grab the filament from the printer selected. This is the same in both slicers, but in Bamboo Lab, just picture this whole thing on the other side. That's all it is.
Yep.
But like, so if I grab the settings cog, it will open here, and then you can see all the options, right? So under PLA, if you want to make sure you never have that problem again,
Uncheck that.
uncheck that and hit confirm.
Oh, you allowed it
Bam!
there.
I was clicking it a lot. So now like that setting's gone, and you can see like
Uh-oh. Now
it
you're
put a
ABS.
it put ABS. So this is a bit of a problem when you do this though, and I wanted to show you is if I map this, do you see it puts Hyper PLA back in? Even though I removed Hyper PLA. So like in the slicer, it's you know, you can come up here and you can still like we verify
Yeah, put it back in.
So anytime you use a filament that the printer has in it,
It'll
it'll
override.
override it. So like if you truly want to not use hyper PLA, you have to come in here and set the filament type, right? And then it will allow you to like what do you say?
I think it was in one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is in one because this is actually hyper PLA. This is the white that comes with the K2 Pro.
Oh, the
Um,
small spool with the QR code,
yeah,
or not QR code, the
uh,
NFC.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then so it's just you're gonna have to again. The point of this is you're gonna have to make sure everywhere is set the way you want it because your printer will override the slicer settings for one.
Yeah.
Even if you get rid of it. Now there is a way to get rid of it. It involves going into the folder and deleting a couple things. So I probably won't show you how to do that right now because the free Discord would get full of, "Hey, I broke my printer and I can't do it." I'm
But,
not down for that.
it's 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 one of those things where, um, you if you put in PLA, hopefully you didn't mindlessly just put it in and you actually know what filament you put in, because
Yeah,
that's the problem. If you just grab a spool, throw it in and whatnot because it's green, you wanted green, but you didn't realize that it is X brand needing X temperature because you didn't even look at the temperature range or anything.
yeah,
I've had really, really good luck just selecting um, generic PLA for
yeah.
most of my prints. The temperature range is right in the range that I like to print in for most stuff
Hmm.
anyway.
And
The
like,
bed temperature is normally in a good range. And
well,
so I've had, very good luck. Like I
yeah,
typically my bed's at 60, not 55,
yeah,
like
and that's a
some
good
like
point. That's the other bed or print no sticky. They actually changed the temperature in modern slicers to go like 55, 50.
yeah, I
Um,
prefer 60 myself.
now, so Raymond and Dominic are talking about already because they're ahead of the game. But like, Raymond's right. In Alberta, 230 for PLA is fine. Now, especially, and so I'll just throw Dominic's in there too. 220 may work for him, but it might not work for you. Yep. Um,
Well, I mean, Dominic's at sea level pretty much,
yeah,
right? And we're what, a few thousand feet above sea level? I can't remember what our height is.
yeah. I don't remember
But
what we
but
are.
I mean, just like water boils at at different temperatures depending on whether you're at sea level or if you're 1,000 feet up or 10,000 feet up, whatever. Like there's a different boiling point for each. So the melting point for PLA probably has maybe not as a big a differential, but there's got to be something, shouldn't there?
That sounds sciencey, dangerously sciencey. Um, so like I don't know if the melting point of plastic changes at elevation. Hold on. I'm gonna ask
I
Gemini.
mean, I can't see that it changes hugely, like a huge swing. But the other thing is, like for example, Dominic is probably at a high humidity place, and
Yes.
we are at a very low humidity place. So that's also going to affect the stickiness of your bed. It's going to there's a number of different things that will be affected by what region you are.
Yeah. And so too, Greg is right about there's slight differences in the
Can't be
melting
huge.
point. No, and it's based off of pressure, and it's like negligible. But like
Yeah.
one thing that
Like,
I
what is it,
noticed,
2 degrees or something? Like,
yeah,
it
uh,
can't be that much.
it is very negligible for plastic. For water, it is actually an interesting phenomenon. But
Yeah.
like
But
one,
water's interesting on its own.
yeah, it doesn't know. Am I a liquid? Depends how hard you smack me. Um, the so shifting back to printer. Um, the one thing that happens in winter all the time for me, and this can go for you for other reasons too, depending where your printer is, the temperature changes. So like my room in the cold of winter where like I can do printing inside or even in the garage, right? That's 8 degrees usually with the furnace set in there. So what I have to do in the winter is turn on the bill plate for about like 5 minutes at 65 to 70
To
just to
heat
let the
soak it
whole
a bit.
thing heat. Yeah. And then once the heat is even, then I can print and it's no problem. Otherwise, stuff just slides right off.
And when we like where I am in my basement, when I had my ender in this spot, I had to do something similar, especially on those days when it was super cold outside, because I get a slight cold draft coming out of where my electrical panel is here, and everything else is insulated, but they're seamed right there, the exact spot. So
Yeah.
I would have to do the same thing. I would have to fire it up, get it nice and warm, and then fire off my print,
Oh my
and then it
God.
was fine.
I read Gary's last comment and it's hilarious. Water
Yeah.
doesn't boil in southern Alberta. It gets blown away before it can happen.
That's
He's not wrong.
totally
The
true.
the
Totally
wind
true.
was through here the other day and I think it was gusting like 100 and you're like, I hate
Uh,
this.
hey,
Uh,
I was on my roof yesterday cutting my apple tree
that's unfortunate
in
because
the
it was
wind.
windy. Hopefully you're tied to something.
No, but
Hmm.
I think I got off just before the really gusts hit, so the
Right.
big ones. So
So we've been so bed no sticky. We've come. Those are the three biggest reasons. Now there may be a myriad of small reasons that are very niche on the outskirts of almost impossible, so nobody ever looks for them. That a
mhm,
beginner would never know, and even some
that's true.
veterans would be like, hmm?
Well, and
um,
if I have something really odd happening with the filament, maybe it's a filament that I'm not familiar with, I will go back to a temperature tower or something
mhm.
just to get an idea of what's going on here. Like this isn't how I expected it to print, based on everything else. So, and this is maybe an exotic filament that I have not normally bought. So I'm gonna revert to that. But yeah, a novice isn't gonna do that.
Well, we've had filaments too. Uh, I won't say any of the brands, but we've had filaments where like a whole batch of like say 50 spools comes in and they're already soaking wet basically. And when you go to print them, you hear pop, 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 right? And they're very brittle too, is the other problem. As
They're fancy. They're water impregnated filament.
so it's one of those like and again like the filament can be a cause of bed no sticky. It's just eliminating what you can. And on these new printers, to summarize, bed no sticky problem, it's hit the calibrate button first. That
Mhm.
should be your go-to because you never know. Like even if you've moved your printer on a table or something and shifted it, that could change everything for like the accelerometers and the,
And
that kind of stuff.
wipe your surface down with isopropyl alcohol. Get it
Yeah.
nice and clean. Like if you do have gunk buildup from maybe someone was printing ABS and left like glue stick on it, warm water. Get all that glue stick off. It'll come off easy with warm water, and then wipe it right down really good with isopropyl alcohol and put it back in and give it a shot
And
after you've calibrated it.
oftentimes it's a very good idea to have a like have a build plate specifically designed like so if you're printing ABS, so you have a engineering build plate that's
Mhm.
designed to hold
I
ABS, right?
I have
If you're
I
printing
have I have my textured one, I have a smooth one, and then I have
yeah.
the engineering one. So I have multiple ones specifically for that, so that because you want it to have a successful print. So make sure, like, now, if you're printing PLA 90% of the time, you probably don't need multiple build plates.
I disagree. Like so yes, but the reason I would disagree is sometimes uh the lazy bug hits and I don't want to wash a build plate right now. I just want to print. So if you have multiple
Fair
plates, you
enough.
can switch them out. I think
You
between
had the patterned ones too at one point.
I do still. So like we have 4 of those plus 2 engineering and 2 normal, smooth, and then 2 of the bumpy PEI. So like we have probably 6 different build plates for each of the bamboo lab printers. Unfortunately, the K2 Pro doesn't have a matching build plate yet. You can use the
Oh, they
K2,
will.
but they will. The all of them right now say plus, so meh. And then the other thing too is like, let's go old school on this. I'll say something that we haven't heard in forever. If you have a smooth build plate that's giving you problems, you're like, I'm just gonna throw this away. Buy some PEI sheets and slap that on top of it, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
and
like, 'cause
bang, new life.
it could have worn out. Like, if you do a lot of printing, it could be that maybe it's not sticking in the middle, but it's sticking around the edges or vice versa. It could be that it's just, worn out.
Yep. And like, to be clear, I'm not saying let everybody run out and buy a new build plate. No, 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 no. And like Raymond says, he's like, I don't buy a new one. I just use it till it dies.
Yeah,
And
that's valid.
um it's a very that's an old like the only printer that really needed you to buy a brand new print plate out of the box was the remember those Ender ones?
With the floppy black plates
Yeah.
that were horrible.
And then like I can't tell you like everybody was like, don't if your nostrils just gonna dig into it and that's the end of it. And yeah, like
Well, and I think we don't see it as much now because, people don't miscalibrate their build plate to the point where it gouge the nozzle is like dragging on the surface and gouging it. Like,
yeah.
it's the calibration process has really eliminated most of that as a problem. If it's still doing it and you've calibrated it, I think you need your printer repaired at that point.
Yeah, and like uh, Raymond sent me a funny picture the other day. But like there was a printer and the complaint was the print head fell off while printing, but like legitimately all the screws were out of it and it was clearly disassembled and you're like, yeah, okay.
Here's
It
the
fell off.
problem.
Yeah, I know your problem. Um so I think like that's a good step one in some issues of for beginners. And maybe we can talk about a different problem beginners have next week too, just to kind of go through
Sure.
a
Yeah.
few. And then I'd also coming up, it would be really cool because Greg has finally discovered Onshape. Um,
I haven't played with it enough yet, but I've made one box.
people, he made a box, but it would be interesting. I feel so like the Tinkercad has like a bunch of like tutorials you can follow. Um, and
Mhm.
then I think it would be interesting for us to do a tutorial in Tinkercad to build the object and then build the object into non-primitive alternatives.
You want us to do a non-familiar build off design contest kind of thing, see who can actually figure out Onshape with barely using it before?
Oh no, no. It would be ideal if you actually if we do how to use it for sure. Um but I mean, that could be goofy fun too.
They could be actually kind of fun fumbling around trying to figure out how to do it
Well,
live
like
on stream.
I know if I ask this question and hey, what CAD does everybody like to use? Probably Fusion would be predominant in that list.
I'm sure we'll have some free CAD in there. We're gonna have a little bit of everything. So
But
yeah.
when we look at sorry, just getting a photo transferred so I can show it. When we look at our CAD softwares, there's lots of ways to get to the end, right? Like
Mhm.
even in a bracket, like something simple like that. If you go and look, there's just tons of brackets on Thingiverse, right?
Oh yeah, you can find a lot of stuff, but sometimes there's you want something just slightly it's not doesn't quite fit your needs. So then you need to either modify it or build it yourself. And so then there's
Yeah.
all the different tools. Speaking of that, there is also they've just relaunched a new free version of SketchUp for people too. So that's another one out there. But I mean, SketchUp is so.
Eh,
I used to use it back in the day when Google built it,
Yeah.
way back in the day, and then they sold it off to that other company, and the other company has been kind of closed minded on it, and they've now opened it up a little more because I think they weren't getting enough traction. And that
Oh, shucks.
funny things, you close things off, you don't get much traction.
Yeah, what happened there? So, I visited and Raymond hit the nail on the head, and that's what I kind of want to go to. Design the same things in 3 softwares, and I like starting with Tinkercad for this because
Yeah.
there is tutorials that we could be like, hey, you don't have to be a master designer. You
Mhm.
can run through these tutorials and understand the platform, right? And then we can move to Fusion and Onshape. Like that is my idea.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, I like your idea. I think we should get maybe someone to give us an object we have to create.
like I said, Tinkercad has the tutorials. So start there, and then we can work our way
Oh,
up
so
to
we're going to use whatever object they have in Tinkercad and then use it in all the products, kind of do
yeah,
the design.
yeah.
Okay.
So like for
All right.
example, like Tinkercad has like my nephew did the pawn one, so
Right.
like building a pawn, right? And then yeah, FreeCAD. We could throw FreeCAD in there, and we could
I
also sort
Yeah, I haven't played with FreeCAD, so
I've
I
used
think
it.
that's a good idea, Gary.
Um, the the cool part with FreeCAD is you can host it in a Docker running basically VNC inside the Docker and just get remote CAD. You don't have to
Mhm,
install it on your computer. You could like
mhm.
if you have um the server real estate or something, you could do that and stream it.
Right.
Um, screen capture. So now I was at school the other day. You can tell I was at school. Look at all those spools. Anyway, um, Raymond's like, yeah, come see this thing. So Creality has come out with like this metal
Stand.
stand for the so basically the problem it addresses is the printers that don't have a box around them can't have the CFS AMS on top.
Yep.
So so this lets you do that. So these little shells do pull in and out. So you can pull them out. I imagined I didn't try it, and Raymond might know the answer and be gracious enough. I don't know if you could open the lid without pulling the drawer out. I don't. It's close. I think you can, but I didn't actually do that.
But
But
but did you know that IKEA has the same thing? It's called lack table.
it's a little different because you got to assemble stuff, and this one, the nice part with this one, and Greg said it too. I can make myself. Um, but like the thing with this system here versus the lac table is it is way more compact, but it's also like this was sitting on a shelf that was probably like mid arm on me, and
Yeah.
it was still comfortable to reach all this stuff. Whereas
Oh,
the
that's good.
where the lac table, it's like you got to bend over and down to the table,
And it's all branded nicely with Creality too. So
and apparently I've been told that Bamboo Lab printers work on it as well, but
well, I would think so.
it could it could catch fire. It's the only thing I was once you get close to each other. The other thing that I did see, but we that it, so apparently like Raymond posted a link earlier and I tried to open it and it didn't work, but like um this wasn't on their website at the time, so
It's
that's
there now. Yeah.
but like the other thing that Spool just got were air purifiers, so they hook to the
Oh, from
printers.
Creality, you were saying.
Yeah, so I I don't know if that's here. I'm just gonna look. Quality air purifier. And
Um,
there, oh yeah, there it is. It's on there. Oh no, that's the. Is it the resin one? Yeah, that's the resin one. So they're about $750 because it's there now, which is actually like it sounds like a lot, but air purifiers they cost money,
mhm.
especially the big ones.
So Gary, did you see I replied to your email? I wasn't sure if you saw it. I'm going to be in Calgary this Friday.
I think we should do Maker Faire this year too.
Yeah, it's like May 2nd. Gary was saying he thought it was coming back, something like
No,
that. Just go there
head
and
up
kind of
and just check it out.
check it out. Maybe do a meetup with some people. That'd be all right.
And it's in Calgary, so I could afford to go to Calgary.
Me too.
And I can't go to the other ones right now, so
Yes.
that's okay. Yeah, I do see it. Maker Faire is coming back. Nice. So,
And is it like at the BMO or something, or where is it?
hold on. Tabulating. 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 Okay, yeah. I learned that I don't know where it is.
The tabulation has failed.
Oh, there we go. I found it. Okay, Calgary Maker Faire. What is it? Location. Learn. It's a third Academy School, 400 Prince Peaceway, Calgary, Alberta. So it's in a smaller venue. Because, yeah, it looks like we. Yeah, it looks cool. We could go. It's Saturday and Sunday.
So, Gary invited me up to the because he knows I was going to be in Calgary, to the makerspace. So we're trying to coordinate to meet at the makerspace, and I'm going to get a tour and
And a
check it out.
makerspace. Does it have like more than printers? Like we have one in Lethbridge now at the public library, and it has
Yeah.
like t-shirt presses and
Mhm.
printers and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Gary can probably tell us kind of the stuff they have.
It was like 10 minutes from my house. So now you'll have a general knowledge of where Raymond lives if you know about Maker Faire. um yeah, like it would be fun to do that. I was actually looking yesterday to see if there were any like community forges in Lethbridge where you could like make blades and stuff, 'cause that would be kind of neat to do once. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary, check your spam, because I would have responded not with info at 3DMakeit. I would have responded with my regular home email. So maybe it went to spam or something, or you didn't recognize it coming back in when I replied back. So
Yeah, we're gonna have to tweak some things, but that's okay. But as far as us is concerned, we'll come back swinging next week with some maybe beginner problems, and then doing the
So next week's
Tinkercaddy.
Tinkercad.
Hmm.
All right.
I feel Tinkercad, and then we could probably get through one or two, and then the next week we'll do Fusion, and then we'll do Onshape, and then we'll do FreeCAD, um, and see kind of like a comparison. And there's nothing like doing it on the live stream, because then it's like, oh man, I'm frustrated and I hate this
Well,
product.
and it'll be interesting because you know just because you are both using the same CAD tool, like
Mhm.
the way you go about designing something and the way I go about designing something is probably going to look different in the way we do the process.
Mhm.
So it'll be kind of interesting to see too, for because you know everyone kind of processes that kind of stuff differently. So
Yep. Very true. And the end, or the end result, differs drastically.
or it
uh,
could be exactly the same the end result, because if
this
we're
is true.
or very close anyway. So
Um, if that link goes through, it shows all our tools. He said he sent a link with all
okay,
of the tools.
let me look.
But yeah, like I have some Tinkercad stuff that I've built in the past. Not a whole lot. But I do appreciate when you make Tinkercad or projects, because um you can definitely like just keep the default names, and they're hilarious.
Yeah, he put it in
Ooh, Robo
the
Elsie.
Discord, so I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
I've got it up here if you want to.
You broke
I don't
the
know if our share,
rules.
should I share my thing?
Well, that's the only way I can see it, is if you share it.
All right.
But it's
I have
not set up, because I got this. Don't worry. I'm really good at doing things. Greg. Okay. I see that thing. Greg. Yep.
they have a video tour and tools.
Transfer. I did it. That's how
So
good I
tools
am
they
at this.
have 3D printers.
Yeah.
Oh, laser cutters, nice big ones.
Jotex.
Some CNCs, automotive tools. Oh, they have some oscilloscopes.
There's the Variax.
Wow, they've got a full on machine shop tools. Nice. We do not have a maker space like this,
David's
Gary.
Garage looks like this.
Yeah,
But nobody's invited except me.
yeah. So yeah, Gary just um, put his application in for Discord and got in, and so now he sent this to us over Discord. So like we said, if you want to join us on Discord, and you too can share cool stuff like this. So
You too could prevent for. Oh,
only you can prevent forest fires. Yeah,
no, that's sweet. That's real sweet.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully we can. So it's actually quite a big space there. Look at that. Yeah, it's they have a variety of different. Look, it's quite a large space. Look at that.
That's a maker space.
Yeah,
Hmm. That's very cool.
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that, Gary. Um, but yeah, I did respond to your email, so hopefully you do get it. And then we can figure something out. We can coordinate on Discord as well, so that's no big deal.
I'll have to search it. Just waiting for permission. Oh, sure. You want permission? Jeez.
Permission?
He needs
Oh,
permission on
oh,
Discord.
oh. I can approve you. Just hold on.
Members. Raymond.
Pending.
Ban user.
Approved.
I did it. Oh.
He's approved.
Let's
You
see
are approved. So yeah. So anyone who they just have to answer the really hard skill testing question.
Yep.
And then we'll approve you, and then you're in. So yeah.
What channel do they go into?
They go into general. We have the rules. They can see rules and they can see general, and we can expand that if we want sub channels or whatever we want.
We should probably put some rules in there one day.
Yeah, it's just the default rules right now. So
Anyway, you guys behave in there. That's the only rule. Okay.
Actually, the only rule is welcome to 3DMakeit. This is the beginning of the server.
That's what I'm saying.
The rule.
That's the rule. All right. I like where that's going. Anyway, I think it's time to bid a sad farewell. But as Greg mentioned, follow us on Patreon, even the free version, and then some Discord stuff. Again, the paid version gets our attention faster generally, but whatever. We still respond. And yes, we will catch you guys all next week for the next show. Until then, have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.